Good evening, Facebook Live. We are here at the WSGW studios, 100.5 FM and 790 AM. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and we got a great show for you tonight. Thank you all who are tuning in. We encourage you to have questions or concerns that you may have. Put it on the live stream so that we can address those issues because that's what this show is about. And each week we come to try to bring you our culture concerns and our contributions, and we need your help. Every week we come with a different show, but it would be nice if we got some more participation on who you would like to see as a guest in the upcoming shows and who you might want to see in the chair next to me. So we welcome your feedback, your contributions, and we're going to go live now on Facebook with me, Gente On Air. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to Mi Gente On Air on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Now, here is your host, Larry Rodarte.
Good evening, Mi Gente. Thank you for joining me on Mi Gente On Air. What is this show about? We celebrate Latino culture and contributions, and we touch on our concerns. We are a part of the Great Lakes Bay region, and we're bringing diversity to WSGW Radio 100.5 FM and 790 AM. Thank you all for tuning in, whether on radio or live streaming with us on social media. Coming off our Cinco de Mayo, we find ourselves heading for summer. Isn't that great? Graduation parties, quinceañeras. How about the St. Joseph Festival? St. Joseph Catholic Church has been at the heart of many of the Mexican families as we grew in the Saginaw region through the years. Within the First Ward area on 6th Street, many families who immigrated here found employment at the Gray Iron plant and they worshiped at St. Joseph Church. Many still do. And each year they have their annual festival. And this year they are adding an event, a 5K run organized with the help of my guest today, Miss Veronica Jimenez. And we want to welcome Veronica, who has been a long-standing Saginaw person that has stepped up to the plate, if you will, and now she's going to chair the St. Joseph Annual Festival. Welcome to Mi Gente On Air, Veronica.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks for being with me, and tell me a little bit about who you are and where you come from, what your family background is.
My name is Veronica Jimenez. Born and raised in Saginaw, Michigan.
Your parents, who are your parents?
My parents are Jose and Dolores Jimenez. They have passed now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest out of 8 children.
And have you always attended St. Joe's?
No, we used to attend Mount Carmel and then St. Simon and Jude, and then those closed, and I went to St. Joe's.
And tell me, what has made you so involved? Because I see you involved with St. Joe's at a level I haven't seen before, but you're doing a great job. So
well, I thank you very much, Larry.
What motivated you this year to get so involved?
I love St. Joe's. We have beautiful, beautiful parishioners. I was asked to be the chair. And I was kind of shocked, but I was like, I thought, I can do this. With God's grace, He has helped us.
And you can. You are capable.
Yes.
You know, Veronica and I have had a history through the years, and we've always been supportive. You've been a great friend. And this year, she texted me, right, just like many, as we're starting to go towards the Cinco de Mayo. And they were very supportive of our endeavors at the Unión Cívica Mexicana with Cinco de Mayo. And St. Joseph Catholic Church put out a beautiful float for the Cinco de Mayo parade, with the theme of In Memory. Tell me a little bit about that.
I thought that was perfect, Larry. I love the fact that you had the theme In Memory of. We have lost so many loved ones. to the pandemic, but also all the others that we have lost through so many years ago. I think it was a healing for others. And with that being said, Larry, we had talked about this at St. Joe's for the festival. We're going to have a tent in memory of our loved ones. Last year we left off balloons. This year we'll probably do candles in memory of all of our loved ones. There's so many people hurting, and if we can just reach out to try to help them in some shape or form, I think it's wonderful. And it's all God's plan. Some people don't want to tell you how they're hurting. Hey, a call, a text. Hey, how are you doing? That just makes life so much better for some. Yes, our float was wonderful. I thank you for having that. Um, theme, Garber Buick did sponsor us. They did a wonderful job. Garber of Chesney, which was Juan Bush,
Juan
and
Bush, yes.
Julio Rodriguez from State Street, and Anthony Stricker. So they're going to also be doing, they've done the float, they've done the 5K sponsored, and now the festival.
Okay, so tell me, this has never happened before that you had the 5K run with the festival. How did that come about? And then we're going to introduce our guest who is live streaming from Florida, Mrs. Bridget Staffolino, a good friend of the Hispanic community here in Saginaw, and a good friend to everybody in the Great Lakes Bay region. But tell us first, how did that come about?
Just planning, thinking how can we fundraise? How can we do fellowship? How can we do some praise and worship music? So I brought it to Father's attention and the others that help make St. Joe's Festival possible.
And
And
when
we
you're talking about Father, you're talking about
Father Frank Vorse, wonderful, wonderful man.
wonderful man. And yes, we have to acknowledge he just lost his mother
Yes.
in the last 2 weeks. And so we give our condolences to Father Frank for the loss of his mother, a great woman.
Yes, and yes, please keep them in prayer. It's always hard to lose a mother, a loved one. And this Thursday at 4 o'clock, we invite anybody to come out. They're going to have a service and for his mother
In remembrance of her.
in remembrance of her. So we were talking, and I thought, well, what other things could we do to try to raise money, get people out, fellowship? People just to come and just thank God for what we have.
And so, a 5K run, that has been, it went through this phase where it was very popular,
Mhm.
right? And we have somebody who's with us who is known for running,
Yes.
and she's known for helping out and contributing from Jolt Credit Union. And
Yes.
her name is Mrs. Bridget Staffolino. Bridget, how are you?
Hey guys, good meeting you. Hello from Florida.
From Florida. Where are you in Florida?
I am, I say Naples, just because people are familiar with Naples, but just outside of Naples in Bonita Springs. So we are right on the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, here, I'll show you guys. This is my view.
Wow. Wow. Look at her and look at where we are.
I know.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Well,
So-
let me tell you, I'm a little homesick. So I love my community. And
Yes,
thank
you
you so much for having me on. Veronica, thank you for the invitation too. So
Well, that's why we're here tonight, because you and Veronica collaborated to bring forth a 5K walk run. It doesn't surprise me with Bridget, the way she runs. I mean, this woman gets up at 4:30 in the morning and she's running 13, 14 miles a day, right?
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about how this collaboration came about and how we ended up with a 5K run for the St. Joseph Festival. Bridget?
well, I'll tell you this. One of the things that, a lot of people will say, oh God, another 5K. Or what, why do people have 5Ks? Well, there are a lot of great reasons to having an event that gets people up and moving. Number one, I like the 5Ks in our area. Anytime Jolt is associated with an event, which is a 5K, it's not because of the running or walking, it's the cause. And being able to help, St. Joe's Parish, which has been a staple in the Saginaw community and beyond the Great Lakes Bay region. In fact, my father graduated from St. Joe's in 1945.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yes. we have this graduation, a poster of the people that graduated from St. Joe's in my parents' garage. My father passed away in 2018, so yeah, so I have a connection to St. Joe's on top of it, and you know, what we've learned through the pandemic is one of the things that was really striking people were the people that weren't the healthiest, and so having an event within an event that promotes you know getting active, walking, and you don't have to run. That's the great thing about these 5Ks is if you want to run, you can run. If you want to walk, you can walk, and just being out there. And there is such an energy and a great vibe at these events. Anytime I cross the finish line, whether it's a 5K or a marathon, I did a 50-mile ultra as well. There's just like this great satisfaction of, you know what, I did it. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. I truly believe it. But I love that Veronica said, you know what, we can add another element to, our event, and being able to, have people come out and walk or run and, get that great feeling. I love it. I told her, I said, do it, do it, do it, do it.
And so, Veronica, how has the response been? Because this is something new, and it's not something that has really historically been within the Hispanic community, believe it or not. But I see that, this can be an impetus to something great, and annually you could have it every year. So tell me.
That would be wonderful. At first, it was a little like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? So the response actually has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Just this past weekend, we kind of put it out there and said, hey, we're going to order the T-shirts. Of course, we'll leave the registration open for the day of, but if you want your T-shirt, make sure you have the size. I got like 47 people that registered. So that was wonderful. And we're not going to do it like every other walk or races, like first, second, third prize. In our eyes, and in God's eyes, everyone's a winner. So we're going to have a T-shirt, a lanyard, a medal. The medal's really cool. It has praying hands, a Bible, and a cross. So it's going to be wonderful. I anticipate a lot of people out there, and all those that have not signed up, please come out and sign up on that day.
Well, how can you lose with a theme of everyone is a winner in God's eyes?
That's right.
Great marketing skills. Who was that, Bridget or you?
Me, of course.
All right. Well, I want to let my listeners know Saturday, June 11th, 22, it's going to be held at Hoyt Park, and this is the St. Joseph Catholic Church 5K walk and run, and it's part of the whole festival that they're having as well that weekend. Registration is at 8 a.m. and runners begin at 9 a.m. So walkers 9:30, and they suggest pre-registration to determine your T-shirt size. And the T-shirts are probably going to be phenomenal.
Oh, they're wonderful. Art Fulgencio, he is a wonderful design. He designed the festival,
this?
Yes, he designed those. So that Father Frank wanted St. Joe's, but with a big smiley face and with baby Jesus as kind of a little boy. So Art Fulgencio did a wonderful job. He did the 5K. He did the shirts. He did the shirts for the festival. A big shout out to Mr. Art Fulgencio. He did a wonderful job.
One of the great artists of our community, and he's done some amazing work through the years.
Yes.
Was involved with David Torres, I know for sure, and has been an artist for many, many years. So kudos to Mr. Fulgencio. Yes.
This is interesting, and I think I shared this with Veronica. I worked with Art at Princeton and UN way back when, and he was amazing. I mean, back then, still is. So you guys know the Saginaw Children's Museum, their logo? That's Art.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bridget, who don't you know in the community? Let's do that. No, Art is phenomenal. He's a great artist.
Yeah. He worked with me. Greg Branch worked with me at that time at Princeton and Ewan. So a lot of amazing things that we did back then. David Gomez, we were part of David Gomez when he was doing health delivery as well.
So Bridget, tell me, what makes you decide who you're going to sponsor. I just want to throw this out because I have been on the recipient end because Jolt Event Credit Union has sponsored the annual Cinco de Mayo. What type of like events are you looking for? Because we owe a debt of gratitude to you because Jolt Credit Union has been wonderful to our community, and I think that's part of the reason we see your face. Veronica has reached out to you for this event. Tell us a little bit about your connection and what you do at Jolt Credit Union, and why have you been so good to the Hispanic community?
Well, number one, I love my job. I'm Vice President of Community Affairs for Jolt Credit Union. I've been here 16 and a half years, and I've had the amazing fortune of being able to be active in the community and promote Jolt and expose, Jolt to our community. And as you know, we are constantly getting asked by different organizations to help sponsor their event, donate, a gift basket or whatnot. And I am such a sucker for a good cause. And so it's hard saying no. It is so hard saying no. But I can tell you this. When we are asked, to, participate, one of the things that, I do is, okay, what is it for? What's the cause? Is it something that is going to enrich the community? Is it, obviously, does it go right back in the community? What does it mean for our area? What does it mean for that organization? And I have always loved the Hispanic community. Growing up, I was always exposed to people of all races. And when I was brought up, my family, it was love everybody. I was raised Catholic, love everybody as how you should, how God would treat someone. That's how you treat them. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do for a living. You treat everyone well. But with the Hispanic community, it's such a rich and vibrant and active part of Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region. And so I look at, one of the things about the Hispanic culture is it is vibrant and it adds so much to our region. The Union Civica, with your Papitos Day and the scholarships you give out, the El Delante. And what Larry's done with, Mi Gente magazine here and the Frida Awards. I was so lucky and honored. That is that's probably like my top 1, 2. There's a tie of honors that I have been given. I was awarded the Amiga Award. And it meant a lot to me because the Hispanic community means a lot to me. It means a lot to our region.
Bridget, this is why you go so far. And yes, we were so happy to give her the Frida Amiga Award. That award is given to someone who's non-Hispanic that has elevated the cause of the Hispanic community. And Bridget was the recipient. And what year was that? It was 2018, maybe 2017.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and we were just so thrilled because this is an award that is statewide. It's not just locally here in our community, but we recognized her. And I think there was about 5 or 6 other that were up for the award. And I was just thrilled. It wasn't me making the decision, but it was past recipients of the Frida Award. And we had them in 5 different categories. And so these ladies, they really didn't know Bridget Staffolino because they weren't in her community. They did it on the merit of what she has done in our community. So we were just so thrilled, and this is part of the exact reason, because again, she's helping our Hispanic community with this Cinco de Mayo, the 5K St. Joe's Festival.
And I hope, Larry, that you guys end up bringing the tamale taste off too. That was, what a great event to have around the holidays. People were buying. I think you guys sold out of the tamales every year that, we were part of it.
Yeah. Well, we started out at the Civica, which is over there on Wadsworth, and we had a capacity of 300 people, and we easily filled that capacity of 300. And Bridget had the great idea and said, why don't we look for a venue that can host more people, because it was just growing, annually. And we did it for like 10 years before COVID. And we moved over to the township to the church. What's the church over there, Bridget?
St.
St.
Thomas.
Thomas, yes, on State Street. And it easily brought in over 1,000 people. People love tamales. And that's exactly what I plan to do this year. We're going to bring that back after 3 years. And I think it's going to be very popular. And I know that we've even got a request from the Loons organization in Midland to have a tamale taste out there off in Midland. Can you believe that? So they've seen what we've done locally here, and they want to see that happen in Midland.
Absolutely. And you would hope that, and especially with, Midland, I served on the Midland Downtown Development Board of Directors. And one of the things that I kept saying was, why we should have something that celebrates, all the cultures. Dow is, there's global headquarters is there. So what a great opportunity to, add some, diversity and, a great ethnic event and, bring the Hispanic community, to the forefront in the Midland area.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the things I miss about downtown Saginaw. I remember the ethnic festivals back in the day. I'm talking like in the 70s. I'm old enough to remember within the 70s where it was downtown, and you brought a whole lot of people to downtown Saginaw. And one of the comments that I liked hearing after the Cinco de Mayo was that they hadn't seen so many people in downtown Saginaw in quite a while.
Yes, it was beautiful.
We brought in thousands for this event, the Cinco de Mayo, and we were really happy because, and I know Veronica was praying, and I asked the Damas de Guadalupe to pray for a beautiful day, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky at all, and it was like 60 degrees, so we were blessed with a beautiful day. We're going to talk a little bit more about the 5K run with St. Joe's, but I want to tell the audience here about Jolt Credit Union, because as you know, they just took over the naming rights of the Huntington Event Park. We had the first event at Jolt Credit Union Event Park. Now, that's a mouthful to say, and you have to think about it when you say it. Jolt Credit Union Event Park. But tell us a little bit about that, Bridget, because you were so behind that whole idea of the name change.
Yeah. So I was approached about Jolt Credit Union taking over the naming rights because Huntington was stepping aside. And I looked at the opportunity to really, put our roots deeper in the community than it already is, because, having a local organization take over the naming rights of the event park, I think really, broadcasts to the community that, hey, you know what? We're here. We're not going anywhere. We want to see our downtown community, that whole downtown riverfront, like really vibrant and expand and get more events down there. And I see it as an opportunity to really help promote the events that are already there, and perhaps create some, that, people have already come up to me and said, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And so we do, having that opportunity to have our name out there, expose Jolt Credit Union to more people, because I obviously, I love my credit union. I love my job. I love what we do out in the community. We don't just write a check. We actually show up, and, we put everything into whenever we're doing. And it goes for this event part too. Larry, you were talking about how in the 70s, the ethnic diversity culture events that we had down there. One of the ideas was to have a cultural event for everybody, doesn't matter, the Irish, the German, our Jewish groups, African American, our Muslim, everybody, is to, showcase, how rich our community is. And so I am so excited that our name is up there, and it's very moment for us. And the fact that, Cinco de Mayo had their festival there, our first event, was amazing. And I'm so proud to be, associated with the Hispanic community. It feels really, really good.
Well, make sure you stay with us there in Naples, beautiful Florida, while Veronica and I are jealous here in the studio, although it's a beautiful day here in Saginaw. But we're going to talk more about 5K run in the St. Joseph Festival, as well as Joe Credit Union. We'll be right back, okay? No te vayas. So we got a lot of comments in there, and we're going to read them probably going into the next segment. But thank you so much. I see a number of people from St. Joe's. I see your daughter. She says, "Hi, Mama." Oh. And so, it's nice to see that participation, and that's what we're going to, encourage the community to come forward and, give a remark on the live stream, because it's important. It's important that we see that. So we're going to come right back, and I want to make sure that all of my audience out there in the live stream world knows that I have a new producer. As you know, we lost Chandler, my good friend Chandler, but we are going to introduce tonight Jonathan Den, who is now taking over as the producer for Mi Gente On Air. Say hello, Jonathan.
Hello there. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to working with Larry and any guests that he may have on, and big shoes to fill with Chandler on his way out, but I'm going to do my best to uphold his legacy.
Well, as long as you don't get the type of haircuts that he gets from time to he's over there. But seriously, what do you think, and how do you feel going into this with Mi Gente On Air?
I think it's a fantastic voice for a community. I think that in terms of representation, I think that it's very good for a community such as the Hispanic Latino community to be able to have that voice and be able to have discussions and events and things like the Cinco de Mayo event. It looked like a fantastic thing to do in Saginaw there.
Yes, definitely. Well, we want to welcome you, Jonathan. I know you're going to do a great job. I know Chandler's showing you the ropes, and this is our last night with Chandler, so we want to say goodbye to Chandler as well, Chandler Pulowski, and we'll give him the opportunity to say a few words as well.
You got me all teary-eyed, Larry.
Don't cry.
I'm gonna miss you guys so much. I'm gonna miss Larry. I might have to bring him over to where I'm going next. In case you didn't know, it was did I say TV5? Did I tell people that?
Yes, you did. WNEM TV5.
I'll bring him over there sometime. Maybe we'll produce something over there for fun, and I'm going to miss everybody in the audience who watches the show every week. I see you guys all the time, and I can't tell you how much Larry appreciates all of your support. I appreciate your support, and I know all of our guests appreciate your support, because nothing makes live streaming easier than knowing that everybody watching pretty much has your back. So you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for a great time being the producer of Mi Gente.
Well, thank you so much again for being with us, Chandler. And I know you will be in spirits, and you'll tune in every once in a while, and you'll make sure that you give your comments and feedback as well.
Oh, I will.
Future. Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to go back into the show in a few minutes. I need about a 30-second break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back, mi gente. Thank you for being with me tonight here on Mi Gente on Air. And I've got some great guests, beautiful women of our community, Ms. Veronica Jimenez to my right, and all the way out there in Naples, Florida, a friend of the Hispanic community, Mrs. Bridget Luby Staffolino. How you doing, Bridget?
I'm doing great.
Oh,
Thanks
we
again
don't
for
have.
having
Well, the weather is pretty nice over here, although it's been cool, but we are a little, with a beautiful sunny day. And so we're thankful for that. But, I want to talk a little bit about um, gratitude. And I know,
If we can take just a quick break for 10 seconds. Had a false start there. Sorry about that.
okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We're having technical difficulties, but that's okay. And we're gonna come right back with the show.
You're listening to Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm live streaming here on Mi Gente on Air, and we have some phenomenal guests in the house. Sitting next to me to my right is the beautiful Veronica Jimenez, and out there in Naples, Florida, we have the beautiful Bridget Luby Staffolino. How you doing, Bridget?
I'm doing really, really well.
Well, we thank you for being with us tonight. I want to mention that, we have a lot of comments on the Facebook live stream here. And it's important. I know that when we air this on Sunday evening, you can't see the comments. So I better make sure I just give a little bit of shout out to the people who are leaving comments. And one of them is Pauline Cap, who she says, "Thank you, Bridget Luby Staffolino." And, Pauline, I know she attended the Frida Awards when you received it. And she's also there pictured behind beautiful water up in Traverse City. And she says, "Veronica, thanks for setting up the 5K for St. Joseph Church." And I know Pauline has been a longtime parishioner and very supportive of St. Joe's throughout the years. We also have Renee Martinez, who says, "Hello, Veronica, you are doing an awesome job." And we also have what I see, Dennis Medell. He says, "Simply Saginaw, let's go." Tina Guerrero says, "The 5K walk run is a great way to kick off our St. Joseph Festival. Verona, keep doing the great work." So, gratitude, that's what we talk about. And I know that, as a volunteer for the St. Joseph Church, you're doing this volunteer work, and you've been chosen by your peers to lead up this 5K run and the actual festival. And that's a lot of work. I know, obviously I know with the Cinco de Mayo. So tell me, what has been your biggest challenges, and what sponsors have you gotten? And I know you want to give a shout out to Bridget and Jolt Credit Union.
Yes, I thank you so much, Bridget. It's been an honor to know you. We thank you on behalf of St. Joe's for sponsoring the 5K and the festival. I also want to acknowledge we do have two co-chairs this year. Our co-chair is Christina Wilson and Tina Guerrero. They have done a fabulous job helping with making everything run smoothly. And again, we have to thank God most of all, because he already has the plan and it's going to be fabulous. I would also like to thank Adam Gonzalez and Anthony Stricker are going to be doing the music. They do a fabulous job. I've known Anthony forever. He's a great guy. I do want to give a shout out to, again, Garber. They've done well. Jolt Credit Union thank you so very much. We do want to do a little bit of praise and worship at the 5K. And so we're working on right now on getting Sierra Barrera to sing
Oh,
some,
wow.
and she's wonderful, wonderful young lady.
Yes, I remember her singing at the Cinco de Mayo probably like almost 20 years ago, and she was
Wow.
very young. She was not, I don't even know if she was a teen yet, but beautiful voice, just beautiful
Yes.
voice. That's wonderful to hear.
So that would be an honor if we could get her to come. So we're kind of working on that. Let me think here.
Well, I know that the musical entertainment is very important for the festival. Do you have any information about that yet?
I did speak with Louis Garcia. He takes care of all of that. He's going to have some Mexican music, some American music. He's working on getting me a list of who's coming. I also would like to give a shout out to Rida Bates. She owns Pure Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pure Energy Fitness, and she will be leading the runners and the walkers in a warm up. So that we thank her for that. Her husband is Roy. They're wonderful.
Yes, yes. I want to ask Bridget, because she's such a enthusiastic about running, and like I said, she gets up at 4:30 in the morning and she runs. Have you seen? I know that there was a time period where you were seeing a lot of 5Ks popping up at different events or whatever. Have you seen that slow down, or has it increased? We're coming out of a pandemic, and so how has that affected the runners here in May of 2022?
Well, I will say this. There was a peak about, and Andy Brady probably could answer this a little more since he is the owner of Dig Deep Race Management. Previously, it was it Try to Finish. And one of the things that we had talked about is that there it peaked and then it was going, and what you saw was kind of like with golf events, like everybody was having them, but what I've seen now is the ones, and this is why, Veronica, I think yours is just going to be amazing. You're going to have a great turnout this year, and every year you do it, you're going to continue to have a even better turnout, because people, when they go to 5Ks now, they want it to be a part of a bigger event. They want it to be an event, not just go, run, walk, and then see you later. They want the whole event. They want everything that's connected with it. They want a cause for it, and they want to be part of something special. And as I see it, Veronica, you're nailing it. And I'm super excited about that. So yeah, some have just gone to the wayside, and it's the ones that thought, oh my God, we can make a lot of money doing this. No, not really. Yeah, you have to have really great sponsors, but at the same time, you have to have the people, and you have to have a cause now, and you have to have, an event kind of an atmosphere, and you have to have great people running it to make sure that they want to give a great experience to whoever shows up. And then you couple that with, gratitude and, praise and worship. I think you guys, Veronica, you're going to be, pretty amazed at how well people will catch on to this.
Well, I think that maybe one of the ideas that came through my head right now was maybe you could pass out rosaries during the 5K run, because you know what, we all need prayer, right? And one of the things that I have to ask, just as protocol, is this run just for Catholics?
No, absolutely not. It's welcome to anybody and everybody of any age. Like I said, even some of us that can't walk or run, come out, bring your lawn chairs, come fellowship, rude, give the runners and walkers claps, cheer them on. Also, I have a very good friend, Carolyn Lopez. She sponsored some bags, not like the Luminaire bag, kind of like the Luminaire bags, but we're not going to light them. But we're going to hand them out to those participants, and they can do their walk or their run in memory of a loved one. So we'll just kind of put them out through White Park. They can draw on them, design them, print on them, whatever they like.
Well, we're still in that healing process as a people, I think. And even though we kind of see ourselves now out of the pandemic, it's still actually going on, and we do still have to be cautious. And I know that Saginaw County, although we're not one of the counties that actually they're recommending masks again, there are 16 counties in the state of Michigan that have increased in the virus. So we have to keep that in the back of our mind. But, I think with St. Joe's and the festival and the run, it's all outside. So that's kind of, a good thing. And that's part of, why we were comfortable with the Cinco de Mayo in being it outside of Jolt Event Credit Union Event Park. I said that all wrong. Jolt Credit Union Event Park. And, it's important, though, to keep that in mind, because, as we said, and as you have just mentioned, you're going to have in memory of some of those that we lost in these last 2 years to the pandemic. And as you've seen at our ofrenda at the Cinco de Mayo, there was a lot of people that were coming up and bringing us pictures. Our float had over 50 people, and your float was beautiful, phenomenal. The St. Joseph float, as you can see on the screen, it had a lot of people that we have to remember because they were a big part of our community, and Veronica Flores, and just so many. And I think people were really grateful, those that saw these floats, or they saw the community ofrenda at the Cinco de Mayo. They were really grateful that we remembered their loved one. And it's important. It's part of the healing process, like I've said, that we have to go through as a people, not just a community, but as a people, because so many were affected by this pandemic. And I think the report came out today and yesterday that 1 million Americans lost their lives during this pandemic. That's a
Wow.
lot of people. And it had they said in March of 2020, when we went into the lockdown, we're going to lose 1 million people. So get ready. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine.
It's just the times that we're living in. And hopefully, the worst is over, and we're going to move forward. But I just want to, make sure everybody still is cautious. As we're going into summer, and there's going to be all kinds of great events, and it's wonderful. Like at the Cinco de Mayo, we were able to see so many people, especially our elderly, that came out that you hadn't seen in almost 2-3 years.
Right.
So it's really nice. How is it in Florida, Bridget, with the pandemic and all over there?
It's Florida. We knew what was going on down there. Anyway, no, it's there. I have seen people in stores with masks, and so it's, which is great. If you are concerned, if you put a mask on. One of the things we've talked about in my family is, or even at Joel Credit Union, if you don't feel well, stay home. If something's, test yourself. But even with tests, those could be wrong too. So if you're not feeling well, just stay home. Just be safe with it, because with the virus right now is highly contagious. So and going into any kind of event, hey, you know what? I'm not quite feeling right. Don't go. Don't go. It's gonna not be fun not to go, but you're not being selfish either.
And unfortunately, this is what we're going to. It's part of our story as we live in the summer of 2022, and it's just going to be part of our lives, and we have to accept that. But we also can contribute to, being smart about taking precautions and all. So, but let's talk again about St. Joe's Festival and the 5K, because you've also added on a basketball tournament, right?
Yes, we did.
And I know Dennis Medell is a big part of that, and he was on here earlier. Tell me a little bit about the basketball tournament.
So Dennis Medell is our youth director. He's doing a fabulous job with our youth, may I add.
Yes, he is.
So he is going to have a tournament 3-on-3. Actually, he did give me some more information. So if anybody wants to participate, there's 24 teams he's looking for. It's a 4-person team. If anybody would like to play and don't have a team, please sign up. He will get you a team together. They have 9 and under, 12 and under, and 16 under. I asked him kind of what did that work? So anyone kind of like from 7 to 9, 10 to 12, 14 to 16. They will be getting a t-shirt. It's $35 a team. They'll be getting a t-shirt, some tickets for hot dogs, pop, Gatorade, chips, and that's going to be given to them with that. He did ask volunteers are welcome if anybody wants to be a referee, or maybe just kind of volunteer like security, try to keep things moving smoothly. It'd be greatly appreciated. I did see the t-shirts today. They're very nice. And on behalf of St. Joe's, I would truly like to thank you, Bridget, so much for all you've done in the past for us, and for the 5K, and also for what you're doing presently for our festival. Greatly appreciate you.
Yes.
Well, it's an honor.
Bridget, I love seeing you, knowing my friends like Veronica. We, like I said, we go way, way back with Betsy and Cecil, the late Betsy
Yes.
and Cecil, who, we lost so many years ago, but she was such a good friend of all of us. And, you know, Bridget, I want you to have the opportunity because not everybody in the listening audience may know the history of the Jolt Credit Union because there was a name change. It used to be Catholic Federal Credit Union, and in what year was it? 2015?
2019.
Oh, 2019. More, boy,
Okay.
that was more recent,
Yeah, it
and
was.
they became Jolt Credit Union to maybe be a little bit more inclusive of the community. And the credit union, it just, it goes hand in hand with St. Joe's, I think, because, the
Hmm.
credit union started way back in what, 1956. And, it was for Catholic parishioners, and they've come a long way. And now they've opened it up more so to the greater community. And we have voila, Jolt Credit Union, and we have Jolt Credit Union Event Park, and we have Bridget Staffolino who's wearing that Jolt T-shirt. So I mean, there's just, it just seems to go hand in hand. And when Veronica told me that St. Joe's, the festival and the run was being sponsored, and it was Jolt Credit Union, who did I think? Who came to my mind right away? Bridget Staffolino. So thank you so much on behalf of St. Joe's, like Veronica said, but also on behalf of me, Gente On Air, just thank you for being such a good steward to our community. And I think that you'll see a lot of the comments from people that they're saying. Pauline Cap says great sponsors. She's saying in regard to the comment we talked about. Do you have to be Catholic? No, you don't to be involved in the run. She says we are all one. Just come walk together in love.
Amen.
I
So
love
that,
it.
yeah, beautiful,
Pauline's
Pauline. Thank
awesome. She's the
you. Know,
best.
yes, she's a great prayer warrior. She's one of the people that I go to whenever life may get difficult. But we also have Augustine Delgado who says, Amen, Veronica Jimenez, good job. So, being involved with um, the St.
May
Joe's
I add?
Festival. Go
May I
ahead.
add, Pastor Augustine, he's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. I mean, I'm going to have him come and say a prayer of thanksgiving. And of course, that Thanksgiving prayer is going to be so important because sometimes we take life for granted, things that we take for granted. And then with this COVID happening, boy, you surely don't take things for granted, I would hope anymore. And he's just a wonderful man. So he's going to do we just thank him so much. He's going to do a prayer of thanksgiving at the 5K.
Yeah, and when I said Augustine Delgado, you see the name up there, but I didn't realize it was Pastor Augustine.
Pastor.
I know him and his wife. They do a great job at
Yes.
New Beginnings,
Yes.
their church over there on Hess, and so I'm happy to see that there's collaboration and partnerships, within the Catholic Church as well as the other churches in our community that are so important and so vital, and they were very helpful. During the pandemic when we started and we were feeding our elderly because we knew that they needed, their taste of comida mexicana. And, so we cooked for like 8 weeks going into the pandemic. And Pastor Delgado and his wife were a big part of that. So thank you so much. And we also have Cristina Maria. She says, thank you to these wonderful ladies for helping promote health and wellness to the community. That's really nice. And also Tina Guerrero says, Dennis Medell, thank you for taking on the youth 3x3 basketball tournament. And you're right, Dennis, I've seen his posts. He's doing a great job with the youth. It's that was one of the things that I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what we've been through, and I hate talking about the pandemic so much, but it just keeps coming up. But our youth groups, they obviously couldn't be as involved, but I think we're seeing that now. We're seeing like Dennis coming forward, stepping forward with the youth over there at St. Joe's. And it's so important. It's so important because what we plant today, with our youth, you will see the fruit of it many years from now. And
they're our future.
Yeah. And I've seen that with my involvement with the youth through the years, like with Canto Conmigo, if you remember that old show, and where we took a bunch of Latinos from different high schools because they were fighting, and we brought them all together, and we put out a show called Canto Conmigo, Sing With Us, and many of those students that were involved, they're doing great things. You know, they're leaders in their communities and they're doing great things. So that's why I think it's really important that we continue to push for that youth involvement and, you know, have people like Dennis Medell and those that are stepping up to the plate to be involved with our youth. So
They're
thank you
good
so
role
much.
models.
Yes.
You know, good role models. And Dennis Medell's doing wonderful. I encourage him to not stop, you know, even when it gets tough and you get tired and you have so much on your plate. Well, God put you there for a reason, Dennis. And, you know, he has a couple boys. I just want to hug them. They're just, I don't know. I was talking to him today and I was like, they probably think, yeah, that old lady, why is she hugging me? But it's like something that's just so like, oh my God, they're blessings. You know, they helped. They went to a living assistance. They helped with the elderly. The elderly just love them youth, hugging them. I mean, he's done a lot. Thank God for that. They
Well,
are our future. Where it's
yes.
going to be, St. Joe's going to be in
Yes.
10 years, 20 years. Those kids, you know, you mold them.
Yes. Yes. And that's why
Mhm.
I brought that up for sure. You know, Bridget, you have an event that you well, a collection, if you will, and it's probably you came up with the name, and you were on WNEM recently in regard to pushing that. Tell us a little bit about that. I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk a little about that because it's really important.
So anyway, so we have this, it's called Boxers and Bloomers, and it's our opportunity to get people to donate underwear to, you know, so we can donate it to the rescue ministries of mid-Michigan. A lot of people don't understand that it is the number one item needed at a homeless center, and it is the least donated item that they get. And so back in 2000, oh gosh, was it 2020? We did a matching sock drive, and we partnered with From the Heart Ministries, and they give away socks to the youth who are at their parish church. And so we thought, gosh, what can we do? You know, we can definitely help them. So we called it it's a matching sock. So how many ever pair of socks were donated, we matched it. So if 500 pair of socks, I think we had close to 1,000 we ended up giving to them. We donated 500. So our board of directors absolutely loved it. They thought it was great. And they said, you know, how about underwear? And can you come up with a fun name? So I do my best thinking when I'm running. And so I thought, okay, underwear, skivvies, probably not cute to be talking about. So boxers and bloomers, so male and female, and sizes, all different sizes. Last year was our first time we did it. We got over 3,000 pair of underwear that people donated, and we were so excited to be able to give that to the rescue ministries. Dan Streeter was very, very grateful for, you know, what we did. So we're super excited about doing that. You know, it's one of the things, you know, when I was on TV5, Colette and I were talking about, I said, it's when you know, it's more than just underwear, it's dignity, and it's a tangible expression of a fresh start. And that's one of the things, you know, with, you know, it's expensive. Underwear is expensive. And a lot of people that are placed in a situation where, okay, do I eat? I need a new pair of underwear. They're going to choose, they're going to eat. Or if their children need underwear, they're going to buy it for them and go without. A lot of people that do show up, you know, at one of our, you know, the homeless community centers that we have in our region don't have any underwear, and it's just absolutely heartbreaking. So for us to, you know, help the rescue ministries give someone, you know, something brand new when they come there, it just, you know, what a great feeling for us. But it's you know, our most vulnerable are constantly being pushed to the edge, and so for us to be able to do this, I love it.
So where can anybody who wants to donate bloomers and boxers, where can they take them to?
Actually, yeah, they can drop off at any Jolt Credit Union location. We're in Bay City and Saginaw. We're actually we're on State Street next to Horizon. We're also on Washington and Saginaw, across from MCBI, right on the same side of St. Mary's Hospital. And heck, I'll come to you and pick them up, if you want them.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Bridget Staffolino from Naples, Florida. Let me know when you're coming home because we need to talk. But thank you for being a steward to the community. Thank you for supporting St. Joe's. Thank you for supporting Veronica Jimenez. And thank you, Veronica Jimenez, because you're doing a wonderful job over there at St. Joe's. I'm so glad to see you involved. And I know that you were part of the Hispanic leadership 10 years ago, believe it or not.
Yes.
And it, I think, is part of what helps you to be the leader that you are today. So thank you so much from Mi Gente On Air. Thank you to St. Joe's. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the live stream here. And thank you to Chandler, our producer, who is leaving us. And we welcome Jonathan Dent to the show. So until next week, I will see you. Hasta luego, everybody. Stay safe. So thank you, everyone, for being with us here on the live stream. It looked like there was a lot of people from St. Joe's. It's really important that we have you as our listening audience and that you contribute to this show. And every week, I try to come up with different different guests that are important to our community. So if you can contribute any suggestions or you think of a theme for a show, whatever, I'm more than welcome to welcome that into the idea for Mi Gente On Air, because it sometimes can be tough. And I get caught up every week, with whether it's a Union Cívica Mexicana or whether it's Mi Gente. It's difficult to come up with a show week after week. And now we're almost going into 2 years that we're doing this. And we're so grateful. We're grateful because we have this voice at the table. And as Jonathan, the producer, said earlier, it gives us this voice of diversity, if you will, to the WSGW programming. And it's wonderful that they are allowing us to do this. And we've come a long way. Just like I've said during the Cinco de Mayo parade. It was the first time we had a major radio station as a media sponsor that was allowing us to do commentary from the streets of the parade. So we have to continue that climb. We have to continue to be great stewards in the community. And, we just have to make sure that we're a part of what makes the Great Lakes Bay region so great. So thank you for being with us tonight. Thanks to my guests again, Veronica Jimenez and Bridget Staffolino, great women in our community. And thank you, everybody, for just being a listener to Mi Gente On Air.